were in like this pinkish color, so you could like see the ghosts in the movie when you put the glasses on. Like, that's kind of cool.
In 1960?
1960, yeah.
Oh. You know what this movie reminded me of? Have you ever seen... I always mix the name up. It's the scary movie like House on Haunted Hill with Liam Neeson a long time ago.
The Haunting, dude. Yeah, that movie's good.
Where like the person goes on the balcony outside the window and they're like, trying not to fall. There was this period of time in the early 2000s where we talked about it maybe on Ghost Ship, where the like kind of a staple horror movie is people stuck in a big scary house.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, I feel like right now, like, we're 20 years away from these movies, and like, we notice cliches in these kind of the film tropes of the early 2000s, and yeah, well, dude, like Scary Movie 2. I didn't realize how much it made fun of this, and obviously The Haunting, the other movie we were talking about with Liam Neeson, they make fun of that. But Scary Movie 2, remember with the glasses, and that's how they see the ghosts?
Yeah,
that's all from this. I was like, whoa, how that went right over my head. So yeah, so you're right. There's a lot of stuff. The other thing about the 2000s, which I'm like, good lord, this movie just abuses, dude, is the flashes. Oh my god.
The what?
Like, just the white flashes. Like, whenever you see, like, a monster for, like, a fraction of a second, it's just like, white flash, and then it cuts to something else, white flash, and it cuts back. You didn't notice that?
Dude, I don't even think I noticed that.
Oh my god, dude, it was fucking horrible.
Yeah, it was an interesting film, and I don't really know why those cliches. It's like one movie came out, and everyone was like, wow, people love this movie with people in a house. Let's just literally tweak it a little bit. And they just kept doing that till eventually people were like, okay, I've seen enough scary house movies.
That's how everything goes, though. It's like slasher movies in the 80s was the same thing. They just got tired after a while, and that's what the early 2000s was, a lot of haunted house movies. But this one just, I think it relied too much on the special effects of, like, the house. Like, it is an impressive house. Like, it's pretty cool that that's the set. And then the ghosts, like, that's it. And then the plot is pretty much just like, whatever. They're looking at the ghosts. Who cares? The other thing is, like, and I don't want to be too critical of her, but the nanny character, the Rod Digga, like, she seems so out of place in this movie. And I know she's supposed to be, like, the comic relief character or whatever, but, like, I don't understand why she's there. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, she's the nanny, but it definitely was not focused on her. There was a period of time where towards the end of the movie, they showed her again, and I was like, I completely forgot she was in this house. And then she found, like, that mixing DJ board at the end. Do you remember that?
Well, I think that's the only reason she was in the movie is because they didn't have another character to do that. You know, because the kids were tied up, Matthew Lillard's dead, Kalina's evil, and then Tony Shalbalber was fighting. So it's like, oh, we don't have anybody else.
We need a DJ. Kalina was also in Army of Darkness.
Yep. Yeah, she was Ash's, like, love interest, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are in other things. The attorney was in Exorcism of Emily Rose. So.
Oh, yeah. But, all right, but sorry. Just back to Ray Day really quick. So I just want to know, like, it's not even her. It's, like, the writing. I just want to know, like, they're sitting in the room, and they're like, it'd be funny if, like, they have a nanny who's, like, really bad at her job, and, like, when they go to the house, there's, like, a lot of windows, and then she says, like, guys, I don't, like, clean windows, by the way. Like, that'd be pretty funny, right, guys? And, like, everyone's like, okay. And then it's like, we could end the movie with her being like, I don't get paid enough for this. Like, this wasn't in my job description. I'm just wondering, like, why is this in this movie?
Because it's early 2000s humor.
It's so bad, dude.
And
it's just,
it always seems like lower budgeted films with kind of bad scripts seem to have, like, really cheesy humor. I don't know why.
This isn't low budget, dude. This was $42 million in 2001.
You know what? Speaking about budget, was this profitable?
Not really. So it got $42 million budget and made $68 million. So made some of its money back, but not enough to make 14 ghosts, you know?
I mean, I'm surprised it's profitable, though.
Well, it's got a pretty good cast. I mean, especially for that time.
Made a lot in Austria and Taiwan.
Huh. You just acknowledged Taiwan, Justin.
Right. Oh, sorry.
We just got canceled.
I'm sorry, John Cena.
Sorry, John Cena. Okay, so yeah, I love it when movies do well in random countries. They're like, oh, dude, people in Cambodia love this movie. Like, I don't know why. It's always funny to see, like, a random country that just loves a random movie. But yeah, so it was the film was critically panned upon release and was a financial disappointment. It's like, ugh. There's some positives here, though. I mean, obviously, you know, the set's cool, the cast is decent. Shannon Elizabeth, though, yeah, obviously she's quite attractive, but her character is just so, like, happy about everything. Did you notice, like, she's like, there's a bath.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, a bed?
Like,
oh, my God.
She went, and that's also, if you notice, she was in Scary Movie where she played the exact same, like, ditzy, overly happy girl. Dude, so I'm looking at these comments right here, and this guy said, complete waste of time.
Oh.
Such an awful mess. It hurts to think of all the decent movies that could have been made with this bloated budget.
Aw. I mean, hey, there's worse things out there. I'm having trouble thinking of them, but they exist.
Dude, 1-star review. 13 doesn't refer to just the number of ghosts. It also refers to the age mentality of the screenwriter. Oof. Oof.
I think who they were aiming it at.
That's a personal attack right there. Yeah, dude, Shannon Elizabeth, I mean, she was in Jay and Silent Bob, American Pie, and then a Scary Movie, and then, like, I think
Jack Frost.
Jack Frost, oh my God, yeah. I mean, she's one of those actresses that has certain roles that they fill in movies, so.
She kind of fell off the map, dude. Like, after, like, American Wedding, like, I haven't seen her in, like, anything. From, like, 97 to, like, 2003, she was pretty much on top of the world. She was in, like, everything, dude. So she was killing it. Yeah, I miss her. I like her.
I miss you, Shannon.
Yeah, dude, Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, she was awesome in that. But, yeah, I don't know. What else about this fucking movie? The poster's kind of cool, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's one thing Steve Beck did. This and 13 Ghosts had sick things. I really didn't remember this movie at all. I remember thinking it was scary when I first saw it when I was like 12 or whatever. But when this ended, I looked up from my phone and I was like, wow, that was a bad movie.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it last night, like, falling asleep in bed, and that's how, like, not scared I was of this movie.
I mean, if you haven't seen it, I'd still say see it just because it's a classic 2000 horror film. We talked about it on Ghost Ship where 2000s had a lot of good movies that you had to see. And I think Matthew Lillard is iconic in these types of roles.
Yeah.
And the monk guy seemed really out of place. Like, he just seemed... Like, of all the people to put, like, why... I don't know. Maybe they were just trying to get, like, a generic, like, math teacher-looking dad. But it was just... He seemed out of place.
Him and the guy that played, like, the big bad guy, evil guy, like, collector guy, they were definitely, like, too good for this movie, like, acting-wise. But, all right, just really quick, the ending or whatever, with Kalina kissing, what the fuck's his name?
Criticos?
Cyrus, Criticos, yeah. What? They just threw that in there like it was, like, out of left field. They're fighting the whole movie, and then at the end, all of a sudden, they're in a relationship. Like, did I miss something?
From my understanding, he had this well-thought-out plan for her to do, where it was to infiltrate the house and kind of make sure all the ghosts were doing what they're supposed to do to open the eye. And for some reason, she kind of reminded me of, like, in, like, the Mummy movie, like, A Knock on the Moon, where she was, like, so excited by this guy's power and opening this demon portal that she did whatever. And in the end, he killed her because he doesn't care.
But it was just, like, so contradictory to her character in the beginning where she's like, they're real people, like, let them go. And then at the end, she's like, I'm all here for you. It's just weird, dude. It didn't make sense. And I just think it's really convenient that her and Matthew Lillard's character just show up, like...
The exact same night, yeah.
Yeah, just fucking dumb. The other thing is, like, I'm looking here on Wikipedia, and I know they released, like, a UHD version of this, like, 2 years ago or whatever, where they really go in depth about each of the ghosts' like backstories and like who they are and everything like that. And you're like, that really would have made this movie a lot better if they kind of like really went into like how he captured these. Like actually that'd be a good prequel, is showing him capturing all of these things.
Yeah, I don't think a budget would get approved for a prequel. I think I think a prequel would be a cool story showing him and Matthew Lillard capturing all these ghosts. But even, like I've said before, they could have added 10 to 15 minutes to this pretty short movie and done a very quick 30 to 45 second like little background story on each one. Like, oh, Ghost 1, as they're flipping through the pages, being like, this is the Juggernaut, this is the Jackal, and explain like she died by this and she's been haunting blah blah blah. But instead, like, they kind of randomly showed them at obscure times, and
Yeah, with quick flashes, and they just mention the name. But yeah, if you look on Wikipedia, even every one of them has their own paragraph explicitly explaining how they die and all that stuff. So, I mean, Joe Testa and I did Darkness Falls, which was from 2003, a couple months ago or whatever, and that movie was like, okay, this is not a good movie. Why don't they remake it? Because the premise is kind of good, and it wasn't profitable, but like they always remake good movies. Maybe it'd be better to remake a bad movie.
Yeah, I think that
no one's gonna take that. No one's like, I pitched that at a meeting. Like, why the fuck would we remake a bad movie?
I think it makes sense from a movie fan point of view. Like, hey, this is a good plot. If you enjoyed it while it was shitty, you probably enjoyed it if it was really good. But I think from like a Hollywood investor point of view, for maybe these guys that just see movies as dollars, they're probably thinking, why would I back something that didn't do well the first time?
No, I mean, listen, it makes complete sense. I think, like, if there's a good movie and they remake it, it doesn't taint the original, but I think it confuses later generations, and they're like, I thought this was the real one. And, like, you think you talk to, like, a 15-year-old nowadays, they're going to know that Planet of the Apes is from 1968. They're probably going to think, like, it's just the James Franco one or the Tim Burton one,
Or the Matt Damon one.
Matt Damon was in Planet of the Apes?
Yeah, dude. The original remake that came out in... Oh, boy, let me look it up. How do you not remember this?
Matt Damon?
Dude.
No, Mark Wahlberg.
I'm sorry, Mark Wahlberg. Right,
like,
right.
Not Matt Damon. He's pitching cryptocurrency in 2001. No. But, so, actually, really quick, I just want to mention this before we sign off here. The company that made these movies, they're called Dark Castle, and they basically went in, like, the early 2000s. They started with House on Haunted Hill, and they just remade a bunch of movies from the 50s. So they did House on Haunted Hill, 13 Ghosts, Ghost Ship, Gothica, House of Wax, all these movies. And I guess there was a guy in the 60s called William Castle, and he was a director, and he did the original 13 Ghosts. So they're like, let's make a whole production company called Dark Castle, and we'll kind of like remake all of his movies. So I wonder if that'll happen in the future with like Dark Hitchcock or something like that.
We'll see. But this got a 5.6. What would you give it?
3.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
Like a 3 flat?
All right, 3.5. Because it's Shannon Elizabeth.
3.5. Ugh.
I'm being honest. It's Halloween. We're supposed to be honest. If not now, when?
I'm gonna go. Damn, dude. I'm gonna go 4. Shannon is a big part of it. Also Matthew Lillard, but it could have been so much better.
Oh yeah. But hey, we were young when it came out. It's a good 2000s little reminder of how we've grown as society. All right, Justin. Well, you're doing the next one with me, so why don't you say we spin the wheel?
Sure.
Sure. All right, Zombieland, first one. So that'll be fun. You like that movie, don't you?
Yeah.
You're a Woody Harrelson guy, aren't you, Justin?
Sure.
All right. Well, perfect. All right, great. Well, Eric's going to be off again tomorrow, but we will see you guys all, Justin and I, with Zombieland.
All right.